So episode 3 of Alice and Zouroku has finally been released, and I quite enjoyed this episode. I'd honestly say out of the 3 episodes we've had so far, this might be my favorite. It had a really nice balance of really cute and just kind of funny and sweet moments, but it also had that darker side. And at the core, I'm not sure how long this series is going to run. The episode count has yet to be released as far as I know. I would think it's probably going to be a 1 core, but I would think it's probably going to be more cute and sweet more times than it is rather dark, despite us knowing that the core foundation of what this series is based on is a rather more dark and gloomy setting. I mean, we get a lot of darkness in this episode. Because we're following a main character who is this little girl, it's naturally going to be cute. Like, that's going to be the structure it's going for. And I, for one, I'm a fan of what they're going for and how they're portraying this child. She feels like a child. Like, despite her having this more kind of like magical presence and maturity to her at times, she still reacts like a child. Like literally when she sees this one pig who's a little different than the others, we know she's keeping that pig. We know that that's going to be her pet pig. Like that's obviously what's going to happen. That's exactly what a child does. Like when you have any sort of little cute animal, the child always wants to keep one by themselves. And that's just, it's one of these things that just throughout the episode, the way she wants food, the way she wants, you know, drinks and things like that, and even with the pet pig, to even her wanting to stay at Zouroku's house, it's very much how a child would act. And I really like those kind of cute moments and how they're portraying this, but also Zouroku just being that hardened kind of badass where he's like, you gotta apologize for what you did. And he's kind of being like wrapped up into basically becoming her guardian and things like that. But before that happens, literally the facility ends up transporting her bathroom to a porta potty and then literally kidnapping her with what I have to say. This one girl, like, seriously, her ability is kind of, like, crazy. She literally has her, like, dead husband, like, this kind of, like, vision that's kind of come back into the real world, but it seems like it's only his arms. It's kind of creepy, but it makes sense, like, why she's so attached to it, but she's kind of insane. Like, literally absolutely insane. And I really like seeing a bit more with the whole Alice like vibe and how this works, because each of the characters should only have like one card, one thing that they can manifest and create. But in terms of our main character Sana, she literally has like an abundance, and it seems like an unlimited supply that she can make anything into reality. And we get to see like her life at the facility, which in different flashbacks it's been presented in a pretty gloomy way, but we get to see what she was doing. Like she literally manifested this like forest, this magical forest, all these like flying objects, so we saw what she was doing, but still it was a life of sadness and also testing because of what they're doing to these kids. And I did like how they balanced both the darker and lighter elements, but I am expecting Sana is kidnapped currently, but I would assume by the end of next episode she'll probably be back in Zouroku's care. I assume probably the week after is going to be more or less just pure cute comedy moments, and then it'll get back into some more darker things, because really, when you have a character like Sana as the main female, you should just immediately assume this is going to be a lot of slice of life cute moments, but there is that darker and there is a plot to it. It's just, it's not going to be the focus more times than not, I'm willing to bet. Maybe I'll be proven wrong and it is going to be more of a balance, or it's going to be more dark than cute, but so far with what we've seen, I would be willing to bet money that more times than not we're just gonna have a lot of cute moments. And as someone who likes slice of life, as someone who likes just comedy and kind of family driven stories, I'm perfectly fine with that if that is the way they go. Now I will say a couple of the characters' faces, I wasn't a huge fan of their default expressions. As anime characters' faces, they usually don't have tons of expression except for like certain moments that are supposed to be comedic or serve a purpose, but there was a couple of characters who just had a really weird default facial expression, and I wasn't a fan of it. Like Sana and Zouroku and the rest, the main cast felt fine, but some of the new antagonists, I was like, I don't really like how their faces are looking in terms of like their default look. It just kind of looked a little weird and silly, but I digress. But even the CGI cars that were in this episode, it didn't look that bad, which is making me really think that the first episode, it had so much just jarring CGI because it was a double-length episode and they needed to save time. Not that this is going to be a constant thing. I hope not, but I mean, even if it does reappear with that horrible, like, episode 1 CGI, I mean, the story and the characters are keeping me interested nonetheless, so it's not like it's going to drive me away like Berserk 2016/2017. But overall, I thought this was actually a pretty sweet and fun episode. The balance between the darker and lighter tones to even just some of the cute moments like Sana probably keeping the pig. Like, that pig's going to be her pet, no questions asked. Like, literally, it wasn't in the truck that they were transporting. She probably has it literally in Zouroku's home right now. He's probably shitting all over the floor or something like that. I think there's a lot of really cool moments going to be coming up in the near future with this series, but also it's a matter of how are they going to get her out of this facility, or is she going to break out again, or maybe she'll have help from the twins or something like that. They got a lot of ways that they can take this story, and so far, I'm still invested. So I can't wait to see what happens in episode 4 next week, but let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Before you leave, hit that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.